I died choking on my own vomit in a dingy motel room off the Vegas Strip, the taste of cheap whiskey and betrayal burning my throat like acid rain. My stepmom's voice echoed in my skull one last time. Your father never wanted you, Alina. You're the mistake he couldn't fix, as the pills I'd swallowed in a haze of despair finally kicked in. But death wasn't the end. It was a goddamn reset button, slamming me back into my 17-year-old body, heart pounding like a jackhammer in the cramped bedroom of our cookie-cutter house in suburban Chicago, the year 2015 blinking into focus like a bad acid trip. The alarm clock on my nightstand screamed 6:45 a.m., that god-awful Katy Perry ringtone I'd set as a joke. I bolted upright, sheets tangled around my legs, gasping for air that didn't taste like regret. My hands, smaller, smoother, unscarred from the bar fights and dead-end jobs of my adult life, clutched at my chest. Holy shit, this wasn't a dream. The faded posters of One Direction on the walls, the stack of dog-eared YA novels on the floor, the faint scent of Mom's lavender perfume still lingering from before she bailed. It was all here. Before the divorce finalized, before Dad married Victoria the Viper, before she whispered her poisons into my ear and turned me into a ghost haunting my own family. I stumbled to the mirror, staring at the reflection of a girl with messy brown hair, freckles across her nose, and eyes too wide for her face. Alina Harper, age 17, not the broken 27-year-old who'd OD'd because she believed she was unlovable. My fingers traced the soft line of my jaw, and a sob ripped out of me, half terror, half triumph. I'd been given a do-over, a chance to claw back what that which stole, my father, my sanity, my fucking life. Downstairs, the kitchen was a battlefield of domestic bliss I knew was rigged. Dad, Mark Harper, broad-shouldered ex-Marine turned insurance salesman, hunched over his coffee, tie already knotted like he was surrendering to another day of corporate hell. Victoria, all blonde highlights and yoga-tone perfection, glided around him like a shark in Lululemon, plating scrambled eggs with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She was 35 then, fresh off her tragic divorce from some Wall Street douche, and Dad was her rebound knight in khakis. Morning, sleepyhead, she cooed as I shuffled in, her voice syrupy sweet, the first barb of a lifetime of lobs. You look like you saw a ghost. Bad dream. I froze, fork halfway to my mouth. In my old life, I'd mumbled something sarcastic and she'd laughed it off, planting the seed that I was difficult. But now I saw the calculation behind those baby blues, the way her gaze flicked to Dad, gauging if I'd disrupt the harmony she was weaving. Yeah, I said, forcing a grin that felt like grinding glass. Something about family secrets. You know, the kind that keep you up at night. Dad chuckled, oblivious, ruffling my hair like I was still 10. That's my girl. Always with the drama. Eat up, you've got that calc test today. Victoria's smile tightened, just a fraction. Bingo. She didn't know it yet, but the game's already flipped. School was a blur of fluorescent lights and teenage bullshit. Locker slams, whispered gossip about who hooked up with whom at Jake's party. I was invisible back then, the new girl from the city after Mom split, but in this loop, every face felt like a potential ally or landmine. I aced the calc test without breaking a sweat, knowledge from my future self bleeding through like cheat codes. By lunch, I was sketching plans in my notebook. Step 1, recon. Get close without tipping my hand. Step 2, unearth the dirt. Because if my death taught me anything, it's that Victoria wasn't just a gold digger. She was a goddamn arsonist, burning bridges before anyone noticed the smoke. After school, I biked home through the crisp fall air, leaves crunching under tires like brittle bones. The house on Elm Street looked the same. 2 stories of beige siding, a manicured lawn Dad mowed religiously, American flags flapping from porches up and down the block. But inside, the rot was starting. Victoria had already moved in her essentials. Crystal vases that screamed old money, photos of her and Dad airbrushed to perfection, and one of me tucked in the back row, half hidden. I started small. While she was at her Pilates class, I rifled through Dad's desk in the den. Junk mail, tax forms, a dog-eared Bible from his army days. Nothing. But in the bottom drawer, behind a stack of old Playboys he thought I didn't know about, was a locked wooden box. My pulse thrummed. I'd never seen this in my first go-round, too busy self-destructing to snoop. The lock was cheap, A paperclip from the drawer did the trick. Inside, letters. Dozens of them, yellowed envelopes addressed to me. Alina Harper, but never stamped, never sent. The first one, dated my 8th birthday, right after Mom left. Sweetie, I know things are hard. Your mom. She had her reasons. But you're my world. Don't ever doubt that. Love, Dad. Tears blurred the ink. 20 years of words he'd poured out but never delivered. Confessions of guilt over the divorce. Pride in my report cards he'd intercepted from Mom's forwarding address. Apologies for the distance when he was deployed. He loved me. He always had. And Victoria? Her name cropped up like a venomous vine. Vic says you're acting out at school. I know better. She's just trying to help. Help. Right. The letters painted her as the gatekeeper, the one who'd accidentally lost mail, who'd convinced him I was rebelling against our new family. She'd isolated him, turned his doubt into a weapon she wielded on me. He hates you, she'd say later, in the life I'd lost. Why else would he side with me? Rage boiled up, hot and righteous. This wasn't just betrayal, it was erasure. She'd buried his love under her lies, and I'd paid with my life. But not this time. I sealed the box, heart-stealing. Revenge wasn't a sprint, it was a siege. That night, dinner was theater. Victoria served her signature roast chicken, golden and performative, while Dad droned about work. I played the dutiful daughter, laughing at his jokes, complimenting her cooking. Vic, this is amazing. You're like a pro chef or something. She preened, but her eyes narrowed. Flattery? From you? What's the catch, Alina? No catch, I said, holding her gaze a beat too long. Just realizing how lucky we are. Family's everything, right? Dad beamed. Victoria sipped her wine, a flicker of unease crossing her Botox-smooth face. Good. Let the paranoia creep in. As weeks blurred into a routine I'd rewrite, I dug deeper. Late nights, I'd sneak into her office, a converted guest room smelling of vanilla candles and ambition. Her laptop password was MarkForever69, classy. Emails to her ex, complaints about Dad's stagnant job, and buried in deleted folders. Correspondence with a PI. Hard to dig on Mom, on me. Reports labeling me high risk for instability. Planted stories about my delinquency to sway custody back when Dad fought for joint. She'd twisted the knife from the start. One entry gutted me. A draft email to her lawyer, post-divorce from hubby number 2. Mark's daughter is the wild card. Neutralize her influence. Therapy records, school interventions. He's malleable without her drama. Malleable. Like clay she could mold into her empire. Victoria wasn't content with a suburban life. She had plans. Investments in Dad's name, for our future, but really funneling his savings into her schemes. In my old life, it culminated in his bankruptcy, her heartbroken exit, and me left holding the shards. I slammed the laptop shut, breath ragged. The secret wasn't just the letters, it was the forgery. She'd been siphoning funds, faking signatures, building a case to paint Dad as unfit if he ever pushed back. And me? Collateral damage, the troubled kid, to discredit us both. But knowledge was power, and I had the element of surprise. First move, befriend the enemy. I volunteered for family bonding, movie nights, baking sessions with Vic. She lapped it up, dropping her guard, spilling tidbits about her tough past. Abusive ex, lost child, lies I'd later verify as bullshit. All the while, I mirrored her, ambitious, polished, the daughter she wished she had. Dad noticed. You're different, kiddo. Happier. Just growing up. I lied, hugging him tight, inhaling the scent of Old Spice and unspoken apologies. By month's end, I'd photocopied her files, stashed the letters in a safe deposit box under a fake name. Alina's future self had street smarts. The trap was set, but revenge needed teeth. Controversial? Hell yeah. I'd have to play dirty, risk everything, because half measures got me killed once. Halloween loomed, the neighborhood alive with plastic skeletons and pumpkin guts. Victoria planned a block party, her social climbing in full swing. I saw my opening. The guests, neighbors, her friends from the country club, were the jury. Time to plant seeds of doubt. The party pulsed under strings of orange lights, bass from a rented sound system thumping like a migraine. Costumed kids darted through the yard, screaming laughter, while adults clustered around the fire pit, red solo cups in hand, trading stories of mortgages and minivans. Victoria was in her element. Cleopatra costume hugging her curves, gold headdress glinting as she laughed too loud at some tech bro's joke. Dad, as a half-assed gladiator, hovered nearby, beer in fist, proud as punch of her hosting skills. I went as a 1920s flapper, fringe dress swishing against my thighs, a nod to the speakeasy glamour Mom used to rave about. It felt like armor, slinky, deceptive. Slipping through the crowd, I played the gracious hostess, refilling drinks, complimenting ugly sweaters. Whispers followed. Alina's grown up so much. Remember when she was that sullen kid? Yeah, I remembered. Victoria's doing. My target? Mrs. Hargrove, the nosy busybody next door, who'd always had a soft spot for Dad. She was by the punch bowl, nursing a spiked cider, eyes sharp behind cat-eye glasses. Evening, Mrs. H. Having fun. Alina, dear, you look stunning. Your father's lucky to have such a poised young lady. She glanced at Victoria, who was mid-flirt with the fire chief. Though I worry about that one. All flash, no substance. I leaned in, voice low, conspiratorial. Tell me about it. She's great at parties, but Dad's been stressed. Work stuff, you know. I found some papers. Looks like money troubles. Hope it's nothing. Her brows shot up. Money? Mark's solid as a rock. But if Victoria's involved. She trailed off, the hook set. Seed 1. Planted. Next, I cornered Tommy Ruiz, the mechanic from down the block who'd fixed Dad's truck for free more times than I could count. He was nursing a beer by the grill, tattoos peeking from his pirate sleeves. Hey, Tommy. Dad says you're the best. Listen, off the record. Vic's pushing him into some investments. Crypto, or whatever. Sounds sketchy. You hear anything? Tommy scratched his beard, eyes narrowing. Crypto? Mark ain't the type. Yeah, I heard her yapping at the bar about opportunities. Girl's got dollar signs in her eyes. If she's dragging him in, tell him to watch his back. Will do, I murmured, clinking his bottle. Ally acquired. By midnight, the party's haze thickened, booze flowing, inhibitions cracking. Victoria pulled me aside in the kitchen, her breath wine-sweet. You're being sociable. It's weird. What's up with you, Alina? Trying to impress me. I twirled a curl around my finger, channeling her faux innocence. Just want us to be close, Vic. Like real family. Dad deserves that, right? After everything. Her laugh was a bark. Everything? Honey, you don't know the half. Your father's a good man, but he's blind. To you mostly. The barb landed, old wounds flaring, but I swallowed it, smiling wider. Blind? Nah, he's just busy. Speaking of, I saw those emails about the accounts. Helping him out. Color drained from her face, headdress slipping. Emails? What? Kidding. I trilled, waving it off. God, your face. Paranoid much. But the damage was done. Doubt flickered in her eyes like a shorting wire. As the night wound down, Dad clapped me on the back. Proud of you, kid. This was a hit. Thanks, Dad. I hugged him, feeling the letters weight in my soul. This was for us. November brought rain, gray skies mirroring my mood. School ramped up, college apps looming, SATs a pressure cooker, but I thrived, my future, edge turning BS to ass. Victoria watched me like a hawk, her warmth cooling to suspicion. She'd started casual check-ins. How's school? Any boys? Probing for cracks. I fed her crumbs. Oh, there's this guy, Ethan. Football player. Thinks he's hot shit. Lies, all of it. Ethan was a stoner in chem. I barely knew him. But it distracted her, made me seem like the vapid teen she could manipulate. Meanwhile, I escalated. Using a burner app from the library computer, I posed as an anonymous tipster to the PI she'd hired years back. Harper case. Vic's cooking books. Check investments under Mark's name. Attached, redacted screenshots. Let the rats sniff each other out. Dad's birthday hit mid-month. A low-key dinner at Morton's Steakhouse. Victoria's pick, of course, to flaunt. She ordered the lobster, cooing over the wine list, while I nursed a soda, sketching contingencies in my head. Over filet mignon, she launched her play. Mark, honey, about that opportunity one mentioned. The real estate flip in Florida. We could double our savings. Dad hesitated, for pausing. Sounds risky, Vic. Alina's college fund. College? She waved it off. Alina's smart, scholarships. This is for our future. Retirement, travel. Don't you want that? I saw the trap closing, same as before. In my old life, He'd caved, and it snowballed. But now, I interjected, voice honeyed. Dad, that's awesome. But what about the letters? You know, the ones you wrote me? I found them. They're beautiful. Silence crashed like thunder. Victoria's knife clattered. Dad's face went ashen. Letters? What letters? In your desk. The box. All those years. You never stopped loving me. My voice cracked. Real tears this time. Why didn't you send them? He stared, then reached across, gripping my hand. God, Alina. Vic said you didn't want to hear from me. After your mom, I thought. Lies, I whispered, eyes on her. She said you hated me. Victoria sputtered. Mark, that's not. I was protecting you. She was so angry, lashing out. Enough. Dad's voice was steel, marine honed. Alina, we'll talk. Tomorrow. She seethed, but the night ended with him walking me to the car, arm around my shoulders. Victory, small but sweet. The fallout brewed. Victoria cornered me in the laundry room next morning, hamper between us like a shield. You little bitch. Stirring shit up? Those letters were private. Private? Like your emails to the lawyer, calling me a wild card? I shot back, voice low. Or the PI reports painting me as crazy. Face it, Vic, you're the wild card. Her slap was lightning. Palm cracking my cheek, stars exploding. I tasted copper, but didn't flinch. Touch me again, I hissed, and I'll scream rape. Who's the jury gonna believe? The stepmom with the temper, or the grieving daughter? She recoiled, venom twisting her features. You have no idea who you're fucking with. Oh, I do. I straightened, cheek throbbing. Game on. Thanksgiving loomed. Family drama distilled to turkey and tension. Aunts and uncles flew in. Mom sighed, awkward post-divorce. Victoria played the martyr, blending families, but cracks showed. Dad confronted her that week, letters spread on the kitchen table like evidence in a trial. She forged the returns, Mark. I swear. Shut up. He rubbed his temples. Alina showed me the emails. The investments? Half the money's gone to your sister in Miami. Who the hell is she? Victoria blanched. Business associate. It's temporary. Out. His voice broke. Until we sort this. She packed a bag that night, eyes promising murder as she glared at me from the driveway. This isn't over, Alina. I watched her taillights fade, adrenaline crashing. But revenge? It tasted like ash. Dad hugged me after, whispering, I'm sorry. For everything. Don't be, I said, holding tight. We're fixing it. December whispered secrets, snow dusting the evergreens, holidays glittering with false cheer. I dove into her abandoned files, uncovering the web. Shell companies laundered cash from her ex's alimony scams. The twist? The lost child story was half true. She'd had a daughter, given up for adoption, now a junkie in Philly hitting her up for cash. Leverage. But controversy brewed. To expose her, I need to go public, blog posts, anonymous leaks to the local paper. Risky, it'd drag Dad's name through mud, paint our family as the Jerry Springer episode from hell. Was shattering the illusion worth the fallout? In my old life, silence killed me. This time, truth was the blade. New Year's Eve, I hosted a girls' night at the house, irony thick as fog. Just me, a bottle of Prosecco, and a bonfire in the pit. I burned her love letters to Dad, fake ones I'd found, saccharine forgeries. Flames ate the words forever yours, and I toasted. To second chances. But as fireworks cracked overhead, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. You think you won? Check your email. Attachment, a photo. Me, at 17, kissing Ethan in the school parking lot. Doctored, but damning. Sender, Victoria. Blackmail. The bitch fought dirty. The email hit like a sucker punch, the fake photo staring back from my screen. My lips locked on Ethan's, his hand on my waist, timestamped last week. Photoshopped bullshit, but in the court of public opinion, small-town Chicago, where rumors spread faster than flu season, it'd stick. Victoria's note. Post this, and your truth goes viral too. Dad sees his little girl as the slut she is. Back off, or we both burn. My hand shook as I forwarded it to my burner, tracing the IP, traced back to a VPN in Miami. Her sister, no doubt. The web tightened. But fear? It fueled me. This was her Hail Mary, proof she was cornered. Dad was at work, house empty save for the hum of the fridge. I paced the kitchen, boots scuffing linoleum, mind racing. Controversial decision numero uno. Fight fire with fire. No more shadows. Time to weaponize the truth. Consequences be damned. I drafted the post for a local forum, Suburban Secrets. My stepmom's scam exposed. Attaching redacted docs, the PI reports, even a timeline of the letters. But the photo? I preempt it. Before she twists more lies, here's the real me. A daughter fighting for her dad. Hit send. Heart in throat. By lunch, notifications exploded. Shares, comments. Holy shit, is this real? Victoria? The yoga mom? No way. Mrs. Hargrove texted. Saw the post. Brave girl. Coffee later. Allies multiplied. Tommy Ruiz called. That PI? I know a guy. We can bury her. But the backlash hit hard. School whispers turned to stares. A teacher pulled me aside. Everything okay at home? Victoria's friends circled wagons. DMs accusing me of teen drama and daddy issues. And dad, text. Alina, WTF? Call me now. I met him at the diner off I-90, vinyl booths sticky with grease, coffee bitter as regret. He slid in opposite, face thunderous. You leaked that? Without telling me. Dad, she was gonna. I know about the photo. She sent it to me too. His voice cracked. Alina, this. It's humiliating. The office is buzzing. What if it's all for nothing? I gripped his hand, knuckles white. It's not. Those letters? They weren't just words. You fought for me, even when I couldn't. She's the fraud. We end this, or she owns us forever. He searched my eyes, seeing the woman I'd become. You're not my little girl anymore. Okay, we fight. United front. First stop, lawyer. Dad's old army buddy, grizzled and no bullshit. Reviewed the files over burgers. Embezzlement, forgery, solid case. But publicity? It'll get you both. Do it, I said. Controversial? Exposing family sins in the digital age was suicide by tweet. But silence was my grave. Victoria struck back that weekend. A concerned call to CPS. Anonymous, claiming dad was unstable post-marital strife, with me as the witness to his rages. 2 social workers showed at our door Sunday morning, clipboards in hand, eyes sympathetic but probing. Mrs. Harper mentioned some concerns, the older one said, scanning the living room like a crime scene. I stepped forward, flapper fierce. Victoria? She's my stepmom. Ex-stepmom. And she's lying to cover her ass. Come in. I'll show you. An hour later, docs spread on the coffee table. They left nodding. This is irregular. We'll investigate. Dad exhaled. Jesus, Alina. You handled that like a pro. Life lessons. I muttered, the weight of my death echoing. Snow fell thicker, blanketing sins in white. Christmas approached, but we skipped the cheer, tree half decorated, lights tangled. Instead, strategy sessions. Dad froze accounts. I monitored her online rants, deleted accounts spewing ungrateful stepdaughter vibes. Her sister in Miami? A quick reverse search revealed her as Tanya Voss, ex-con for fraud, Victoria's half-sister and accomplice. Twist incoming. A letter in the box I'd missed. Dad's handwriting, dated last year in my old timeline. Alina, if you're reading this, things went south. Victoria confessed once, drunk. Her daughter, the one she lost. It was mine. From before we met. She used it to trap me, guilt me into marriage. Forgive me. My world tilted. Not just betrayal, incestuous-level deception. Victoria hadn't just stolen money, she'd stolen truth. Dad was a father twice over, and she'd weaponized it. Rage morphed to pity, then resolve. I confronted him gently, over cocoa by the fire. Dad, the letters. About her daughter. He deflated, staring into flames. Tanya, one mistake, before your mom. Vic found out, used it. Said she'd expose me, ruin my career. I married her to shut it up. And me? She turned you against me to control you. He nodded, tears carving tracks. I was weak. But you're strong, Alina. Stronger than me. We hugged, broken pieces fitting. But mercy? Not for her. New Year's brought the storm. Victoria returned, uninvited, pounding on the door at midnight, snow swirling like confetti from hell. Mark, let me in. It's freezing. Dad opened, chain latched. She was a mess, mascara rivers, code askew. Please. I messed up, but it's the holidays. Family. Family. I stepped up, voice ice. You forged his signature, drained his savings, lied about Dad hating me till I tried to kill myself. Her eyes widened. Did she know? In this timeline, no, but the guilt flashed. Alina, you dramatic. Save it. I held up my phone, recording. Tanya called. Said hi. Oh, and the cops are en route. Embezzlement's a felony. Bluff, but it landed. She lunged at the chain. You bitch. You think you can. Dad slammed the door, bolts clicking. Sirens wailed distant. Real now, Tommy's guy, tipping off PD. She screamed obscenities, pounding till her fists bruised. I'll ruin you. All of you. Then silence, save for crunching snow. Footprints led to her car, engine roaring away. We watched from the window, arms linked. It's over. Dad whispered. Not yet, I said. The climax brewed. January thawed secrets. The investigation snowballed. FBI sniffing financial trails, Tanya flipping for immunity. Victoria holed up in a motel, posting victim narratives on Facebook. Abused by my own family. Comments split, Team Vic versus Truth Bomb. School became a gauntlet. Bully spray-painted liar on my locker. Ethan, real one, asked me out. Awkward sympathy in his eyes. I declined, focus sharp. But controversy peaked. A viral interview with a tabloid hack. Victoria tearful. Alina's unstable. Mark's brainwashed. I fear for them. Backlash tsunami. Death threats in my inbox. Dad's job teetering. Was revenge worth the mob? I questioned, nights staring at ceiling fans whirring like accusations. Decision 2, double down. I went public, live stream from our living room. Dad beside me, letters in lap. This is our story, not hers. Views hit millions, shares fracturing narratives. Supporters flooded, donations for legal fees, messages of you go, girl. But the hack? It unearthed dirt on me. Old juvie record from mom's wild years, exaggerated to violent tendencies. Controversy incarnate. Was I the villain? Twist. Victoria's arrest, live on news. Raided Miami safe house with Tanya, ledgers spilling. Charges. Wire fraud, identity theft. But in cuffs, she spat to camera. Alina pushed me to this. She knew about the baby, my baby with Mark, and threatened exposure. Gasps. The secret baby, Dad's shame, now public poison. Dad crumbled, media hounds at our door. I can't, he gasped, packing a bag. Too much. Dad, no. I blocked him. She loses if we run. He stayed, but the fracture deepened. February's chill seeped into bones, the house a fortress under siege. Curtains drawn, doors locked, takeout wrappers piling like unanswered prayers. Dad barely spoke, shadow of the man who'd penned those letters, guilt gnawing him hollow. The baby bombshell had detonated, tabloids feasting. Insurance Dad's double life. Illegitimate heiress or heartbreak. Victoria's mugshot went viral, her glare a promise of Armageddon from county lockup. I fielded the chaos, lawyers' calls, reporters' voicemails, Ethan's tentative texts, you okay? School? Suspended for safety. Homeschooling via Zoom, isolation my new normal. But in the quiet, strategy sharpened. Revenge wasn't exposure, it was annihilation. Her empire, built on lies, laundered cash, would crumble, brick by deceitful brick. First, the financial kill shot. With the FBI's blessing, leaked via my lawyer contact, I traced the trails. Offshore accounts in the Caymans, funneled through her yoga studio, LLC. Tanya's flip provided the keys, passcodes, transaction logs. One dawn raid later, headlines screamed, Stepmom's $2 million Ponzi exposed, suburban scam queen busted. Victoria's bail hearing was circus, cameras flashing, protesters with signs, justice for families. She took the stand, voice quivering. I did it for love. Mark's daughter. She hated me from day one. Pushed him to this. The judge, a stern woman with no patience for tears, denied bail. Flight risk, Your Honor. Ma'am, save the soap opera. I watched from the gallery, anonymous in hoodie and shades. Her eyes locked on mine across the room, pure venom. This is your fault, she mouthed. Damn right. Dad's redemption arc stuttered. Therapy sessions twice weekly, him unpacking decades of silence. I wrote those letters to feel close. He confessed one night, bourbon in hand. But sending them meant admitting failure. As a dad, a man. You're not a failure, I said, fierce. She made you think that. But we're here. That's what counts. He squeezed my shoulder, a ghost of a smile. You're my anchor, Alina. Don't know what I'd do without you. The words healed something fractured, but the cost mounted. Mom called. First in years, voicemail thick with tears, saw the news. God, baby, I'm sorry. For everything. We met at a neutral Starbucks, her looking older than 45, lines etched by bad choices. Hugs were awkward, words halting, but closure trickled. I left because I was drowning. Not you. Never you. Forgiveness? Partial. But it freed me to focus. The trial. March bloomed with subpoenas. I testified first, sworn in, hand on Bible, voice steady as I laid out the betrayal. The letters hidden, the gaslighting, the slow poison that led to well, not death this time, but the despair that mirrored it. She told me he hated me. Every day? Until I believed it. Jurors leaned in, faces a mix of pity and outrage. Victoria's lawyer cross-examined, slimy as oil. Ms. Harper, isn't it true you fabricated evidence? That photo. Photoshopped, I snapped. By her. Check the metadata. The courtroom tittered. Score. Dad's turn gutted him. Reliving the affair, the blackmail marriage, the baby given up. I was young, stupid. Victoria used it like a chain. Tears fell. Victoria smirked from the defense table, whispering to counsel. Her testimony was Oscar-worthy, sobbing, repentant. I loved Mark. Alina. She was jealous. Pushed me out. But cracks showed. Trembling hands. Eyes darting to the empty gallery. Tanya plea bargained, ghosted. Closing arguments framed the controversy. Was she monster or misguided? Fraud for love or cold calculation? The DA hammered. This wasn't passion, it was predation. Verdict, guilty on all counts. 10 years, minimum. As gavel fell, she lunged forward, shrieking, You witch. This is your revenge fantasy. Bailiffs wrestled her down. I stood unmoved. Fantasy? No. Justice. Outside, flashes blinded. Dad shielded me, whispering, It's over. Was it? The twist lingered, coiled. Spring unfurled, tentative green piercing concrete. Dad got promoted. Irony, his scandal boosting sales, relatable resilience, HR called it. We sold the house on Elm, too haunted, bought a condo downtown, sleek, modern ours. No ghosts. But nightmares plagued me. Motel room, pills dissolving, her voice. Reincarnation's gift was the fight, but the scars? Eternal. Ethan persisted, flowers at the door, earnest eyes. You're badass, Alina. Let me in. Controversial decision 3, vulnerability. We dated, movies, drives along Lake Michigan, his hand warm in mine. Normalcy tasted foreign, sweet. Dad approved, he treats you right. That's all I ask. Summer hummed with possibility. Internship at a local paper, chasing stories like redemption. One assignment, family secrets in the digital age. I wove in our tale, anonymized, but cathartic. Then, the letter. Mailed to the condo, postmark Philly. Tanya scrawl, Sis, yeah half. Vic's rotting, but she wanted you to know. The baby? Not Mark's. Mine. She lied to trap him. Payback for mom dying in childbirth. Blamed him, but it was her drugs. Twisted bitch to the end. Enclosure, a faded ultrasound, dated 1995. Not Dad's child. Victoria's fabrication, layered deception. I burned it in the sink, flames hissing. The ultimate twist, not just betrayal, but inception. Our pain, engineered for myth. Dad read the ashes confession, face crumpling. God, we grieved together, then let go. Doesn't change us, I said. We won. He nodded, eyes clear. Yeah, we did. But victory's edge cut. Public scrutiny lingered. Book deals pitched, podcasts begging interviews. I declined, guarding our peace. Ethan's proposal came fall, casual, on a pier at sunset. Marry me? Build something real. I said yes, tears saltier than the lake. Happy ending? Earned, jagged. Yet, in quiet moments, I wondered, was the rebirth a gift or curse? I'd saved us, but at what cost? The girl I was, unscarred by foreknowledge. October winds whispered closure. Victoria appealed from prison, pro-SE rants online. Alina orchestrated it all. She's the monster. Ignored. Her voice, echo fading. Thanksgiving redux. Just us three. Dad, Ethan, me. Turkey charred, but laughter genuine. No masks. As pie cooled, Dad pulled out a fresh envelope. For you. this time sent. Inside, Alina, my daughter. Proud doesn't cover it. Love always. I hugged him, whole at last. But fate's a trickster. December dawned with a call. Hospital. Dad, chest pains, stresses toll. Rushed to OR, monitors beeping. I held his hand. Fight, I whispered. We got this. He smiled weakly. I know. Love you, kid. Doctors stabilized, bypass scheduled. Waiting room vigil, Ethan beside me. I confessed fragments, the dreams that changed me. You're a force, he murmured. Whatever it was. Surgery succeeded, recovery slow but steady. New year, new us. Therapy group for scandal survivors. Dad mentoring others. Victoria? Life sentence in appeals quagmire, alone with mirrors. Me? Thriving, college-bound, journalism dreams alight. Reincarnation's lesson. Betrayal breaks, but truth rebuilds. Stronger. Yet, in dreams, the motel flickered. A reminder, live fierce. Or die trying. The spring of 2016 bloomed like a hard-won truce. Cherry blossoms dusting Chicago's streets in pink defiance of winter's scars. Dad's rehab was a grind. Physical therapy 3 times a week, him grumbling through leg lifts like a drill sergeant gone soft. But progress marked victories. First unassisted walk in the park. First rib-cracking laugh at one of Ethan's dumb jokes. Our condo, with its floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the loop, felt less like a bunker and more like home. Walls adorned with real photos, not Victoria's curated fakes. Dad and me at Wrigley Field, arms slung around shoulders, grins wide as the outfield. I balanced it all, senior year winding down with AP exams crushed, Ethan's steady presence an anchor in the storm. Our dates were simple American rituals, hot dogs at Navy Pier, make-out sessions in his beat-up Civic under street lamps, whispers of forever that chased away the echoes of my death. But the past clung like humidity. Victoria's appeals dragged, her prison letters arriving like clockwork. Alina, you're destroying lives. Mercy is weakness, you'll learn. I shredded them unread, but one slipped through. The letters? I burned half before Mark hid them. Your love was always conditional. Rage flickered, but I doused it. No more fuel for her fire. Graduation hit like a fever dream. Cap and gown stifling under June's sun. Auditorium electric with whoops and flashbolts. Valedictorian speech? Mine, unexpected, guidance counselor citing my resilience arc. Podium in hand, spotlight hot. I scanned the crowd. Dad beaming front row, Ethan whistling, Mom in the back, invited, tentative bridge rebuilding. Class of 2016. I began, voice amplified, steady. We've all got stories, betrayals that blindside, secrets that suffocate. But here's the truth. Rebirth isn't magic, it's choice. Every day, we choose to rise, to rewrite the ending. Pauses for applause, but my eyes locked on Dad's. The letter's unspoken vow. Family isn't blood or lies. It's the ones who stay, who fight the dark. To second chances. Thunderous cheers, tissues dabbing eyes. Backstage, Dad crushed me in a hug. Nailed it, kid. Your mom. She's proud. Mom hovered, awkward in floral dress. Alina, that was you. Strong, like I never was. We talked, real talk, over coffee post-ceremony. Her apologies flowed, regrets for the abandonment, the chaos that birthed my scars. I see now. You didn't need saving. You were the savior. Healing, incremental. Not fairy tale, but functional. College loomed, Northwestern, full ride on merit and inspirational essay about family reinvention. Dorms smelled of fresh paint and possibility. Roommates a whirlwind of East Coast accents and midnight rants. Ethan visited weekends. Our bond deepening into something unbreakable. Late-night drives to the dunes, sand between toes, futures mapped under stars. But the climax I'd engineered? It crested that fall. Victoria's trial appeal hearing. High profile now, true crime pods dissecting our saga. I testified again. Older, sharper. She didn't just steal money. She stole trust. My father's words, my sense of self. But words endure. Hers don't. Her final stand. Unhinged, hair greasy, jumpsuit swallowing her frame. Alina's the puppet master. She knew everything and orchestrated my fall. That girl. She's not right. Possessed or something. Laughter rippled, Judge banged gavel. Appeal denied. As she was led away, screaming, "You'll pay? All of you." I met her gaze. No triumph, just pity. The monster she'd made of me? Vanquished. Outside, press swarmed. Alina Harper, inspiration or instigator? I pushed through, no comment, but one reporter cornered. Regrets? The controversy, your family's name forever tainted. Regrets. I paused, mic thrust forward. Only that it took so long. Controversy's just noise, truth's the signal. Headlines spun, revenge or redemption. The Harper era speaks. Dad's book deal followed. Memoir, Unsent, a father's hidden love. Bestseller, therapy for him, platform for others. Royalties funded scholarships, Alina's second chance fund, for kids from fractured homes. Ethan proposed for real that Christmas, down on one knee by our twinkling tree, ring simple silver. You're my plot twist, Alina. Marry me. Tears, yes, chaos of planning. Wedding small, backyard affair summer 2017, mom walking the aisle, dad beaming. Vows exchanged under oaks. In this life, and if there's another. Honeymoon in Vegas. Ironic full circle, but lights twinkled hope, not despair. No motels, penthouse views, Ethan's arms my safety. Years blurred. Career in investigative journalism. Exposés on family court corruptions, echoes of our fight. Dad remarried. Kind widow from his group, no drama. Baby brother born when I was 25, chubby fists clutching my finger. Auntie Lena. Victoria? Died in prison, 2022. Overdose, pills like a mocking mirror. News clip, scammer's sad end. No tears, closure. But the twist, the real one, hit at 30, pregnancy test positive, ultrasound wand gliding. Heartbeat flickering, tiny and fierce. In the exam room, Ethan squeezing my hand, I whispered to the blob, "Welcome back. Make it count." Life's not linear. It's loops, lessons etched in ink that fades but never vanishes. I died once, betrayed, unloved in the lie. Reborn, I avenged, not with blood, but truth's blade. Controversial? Hell yes. Family imploded, secrets flayed public. Tense. Every shadow held her ghost. Dramatic? American as apple pie gone rotten, then baked anew. Ending? Not tragic, not saccharine. Real, scarred, shining. Dad's last letter, before grandkids. You saved us, Alina. My girl. Forever. I keep it framed, bedside. Reminder, love sends itself. Betrayal? It echoes, till you silence it. And in quiet nights, when the world's weight presses, I breathe deep. Second chances aren't given, they're seized. I seized mine. Wouldn't trade the fight, or the family forged in fire, for anything. Fade to now, 2025, rocking my daughter to sleep, her lashes fluttering like butterfly wings. Story, mama? One day, I murmur, about a girl who came back stronger. She sighs, content. Outside, Chicago hums, city of broad shoulders, unbreakable spirits. Mine included.